All right, guys, we're back again for another episode. This episode is brought to you by our friends at Fantasy Stand. Go follow them on Instagram. Go sign up to join some fantasy games. Football season's around the corner. I know most of us are excited about them birds, so we'll see what happens this year. All right, so tonight I have a very special guest. Really excited to have him on. He's been asking to come on, and I've been just trying to find time to get him on. So finally, we have our special guest tonight. BlazeFidler Hernandez, 1 win, no losses, 1 draw. Blaze, thank you so much for joining tonight.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Well, my first question is, why don't you tell everybody where you're from?
So originally I was born in El Centro, California. And then I moved up to Merced, California, probably when I was about 9, with my mom and my stepdad, and graduated high school, and then left for the Navy a month out of high school. And 8.5 years later, man, here we are. Did 2 tours, one in the Middle East. We supported a lot of combat missions out there, one in Asia. I've been in 23 different countries. And, I'm living life. I got out here in D.C. or the DMV, and I don't want to go back to California. So I'm here to stay.
All right. Yeah, no, that was actually my question I was going to have after you were done letting everybody know. I'm actually really shocked. So you wouldn't want to go back and live in the nice weather of California, no?
No, man. So everybody thinks it's nice weather, but like right about now, it's about 100 in most places, 100 plus. It gets really high, although it's dry heat and it's not so humid.
Right.
There's just honestly there's way too many people, and people think DC's packed. Way too good at LA. Like,
yeah,
it takes 4 hours to get from like, I don't know, like the Grapevine over by Magic Mountain just south. Like I just started heading to San Diego, like on a good day. So I mean, man, I love it out here. I live in Maryland right now. I live around Annapolis.
Okay.
I love Annapolis. It's very colonial. It's very old. I like that artistic style. It's really nice.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because we had a work conference. This was like literally right before COVID. My work always takes us for a weekend somewhere. So we went to Annapolis, Maryland.
Okay.
Oh my God, I forgot the hotel we stayed at. It was super nice. The bed was incredible.
Graduate. Was it like a bunch of like very Navy themed?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's a Graduate.
Okay.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh my God, it was so comfortable. And then also just the town itself, just like walking and stuff, because like we have some drinkers at work, so everybody's just going bar hopping and just walking up hills the whole time. But yeah, it was a lot of fun though. That is a really nice town. And then the football stadium's awesome. I was really upset that there were no fans allowed because I am a huge Temple Owls fan because I went there. So I was going to go to the game last year, and unfortunately, COVID, no fans, so I wasn't able to go.
Hey, you know what? I get it. And as far as, being in the Navy for 8.5 years, it's definitely Annapolis is a good drinking town. You got the Naval Academy right there for a reason. So also something interesting, if you learn about you do like some of the haunted bar crawls and stuff like that. It's really interesting to learn about the history and stuff. So yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely 100%. I'll call you too, and maybe we'll link up and go to the game. I mean, I'm gonna be in my Temple gear though, so that's.
I'm not even hating, man. I don't even get. I'm just enjoying it. I love a good game, so it don't matter to me.
All right, cool. All right. So what did you start boxing at?
So I actually wanted to box when I was much younger.
Okay.
But my mom really didn't want me to. So she was just like, you know what? I'll settle with wrestling. So I got into wrestling right about 8 or 9. I wrestled all, through, I think it was like my 5th grade year I started, and then all through middle school, all through high school. I won an off-season national tournament. For folk style, I went to state in California. I was competing. I was top 16 out of 3,000 wrestlers in my weight class. And yeah, man. And literally the week after state, I took a week to recover because, I had to cut weight twice a week, about 12 pounds in high school, my senior year. And I had to wrestle 4 tournaments just to get to state. So it was pretty intense. And I took a week to recover and then saved up a bunch of lunch money and paid for boxing, left for the Navy. I learned jiu-jitsu while I was in the Navy as well.
Okay.
And I was the first Navy guy to ever win 2 McMath tournaments over on Dam Neck. They had like a Marine fight night. And I was like, yo, I want to do that, like, now that I know jiu-jitsu. And they're like, okay, yeah, we'll get you in. But, you know, we don't expect nothing from a Navy
Right.
guy. I'm like, yeah, hey, you know what? I was like, let's see what happens. You know, you guys talk a lot of good stuff. So I went and I ended up going against like 9 or 10 guys in like just under like an hour and a half. Ended up tapping them most of them out in triangles, arm bars, one in a go-go plata. And then, I won the first time. And then the second time, my parents were actually there because they're watching me graduate from my C school. And it's pretty interesting because my sister, she's 10 years younger than me, and she's blonde-haired, blue eyes. So you had this little blonde-haired, blue eyes girl screaming on the mat because she watched me wrestle my entire high school career, screaming and slamming on the mat, Blaze, kill him, get him. And then all these Marines are like, who is this little girl? And then I won again. And then the next day I graduated. My parents were there, so I was really, really thankful. And then on to the rest of my naval career.
Awesome.
Sorry, we're going to boxing. Sorry, I talk a lot. And
No,
then
it's fine.
I go to my first duty station. I met up with a guy from Detroit that was the only guy on the island, out in Whidbey Island, at Oak Harbor, that really knew like boxing. And he went to this one local gym. There's one gym on the island. And so I just started going there. Then I went on my first deployment, would train with guys in the gym, came back. And then we actually had our first pro, Doc Barron, who trained under Brett Summers. Brett Summers being number 2 in the 126-pound weight class back in the 80s when everybody had like the porn stash,
Right,
like
yeah.
or mustache.
The Freddie Mercury
some
stash.
Exactly, the Freddie Mercury stash. He was rocking it like it's no one's business. So, and then I trained with Brett Summers for I'd say about a year and a half, and then I went on my second deployment, came back, and then, man, Washington State was hard, man. They're just like I had one fight when I was out there, and I trained for a year and a half. There's just nobody out there to fight. They even canceled the Golden Gloves one year. And it was just kind of sad. So, you know, I hung on my boxing gloves for a little bit, did Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. I got transferred in 2015 to DC. And a older guy that's very popular and very well known in the DMV boxing scene, Mr. Fitzpatrick, actually saw me on base. He's a retired chief. And he's like, hey, I'm going to take you to the boxing gym. Went to Hillcrest boxing gym, and I actually met Jarrett Hurd before he became a world champion, and I actually trained with him right after his Frank Galarza fight. And that's when I first came to the gym, and then we trained there up until Jarrett left the gym after his defeat to Rock. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name, from Philly.
Julian J. Rock Williams.
Yep, J. Rock Williams. Yep. And right after that, he left Hillcrest. Yeah. It was a great, he was on point. It was a great fight. And, you know, he had what it, you know, he did what he needed to do to make it win. You know, no hate in the game. It was a great fight. You know, I was obviously very worried about Jarrett, but after that he left Hillcrest, and then, you know, I continued after that, and I turned pro.
Okay. So. Now, are you friends with Jakeem Hutchinson, or was that a little before or after your time? So he's on the card too, but I know that Jakeem still trains with Hurd on and off still, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Me and Jay. Well, I call him Jay, but
Jay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. We're really cool. I mean, we grew up in the amateurs together. We even went to the Eastern Regional Conference, the national tournament, the USA Boxing Tournament down in Chattanooga, Tennessee, together. So, we know each other. I came to Hillcrest. Actually, I think either a month before he did, because he was with another coach that came in, or it was a month after. But I do remember very early days training with Jay, and we really just kind of build up on each other and, you know, train together throughout our entire amateur career. So he's always been really cool, great guy. I love the guy. You know, nothing bad to say about him. So
yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. So I know we talked a little bit about amateurs too. Do you how many amateur fights did you have, and what was your record?
I was 28 amateur fights. I was 20-8. And then I made it to the quarterfinals. I fought Bruce Carrington in Tennessee. And I looked at scorecards. I didn't win a round, and so it was 1-2. I hit him with a really good right hand in the first round, but I didn't capitalize on it like I should have. But, man, second round, third round, he came back with it, and, I didn't back down. But, he got the better one. He was the better man that night, so he took the W on that one. And I'm glad that, he's representing us in the Olympics as well as having his first pro debut. So I'm good to see, like, good things with them.
Yeah, of course.
I did win a Golden Glove title here. My 5th fight, like, as a novice. So yeah, it was a good amateur career. I learned a lot. I'd never stop bugging Jarrett about questions about professionals or anything like that. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, awesome, man. Like you had 28 amateur fights. Now, when did you know you were ready to go pro? Was that like a decision with you, or was it your team, or was it just something that you had like your mindset on the amount of fights, or was it just timing?
So I honestly, my first pro fight was the last day of active duty in the Navy. After everything, after Jared had left Hillcrest and then the rest of us had left as well, I just thought it was time. And I was also at the time, like, getting in the mindset where, like, I am getting older. I'm 28 now. It doesn't seem old, but in boxing, once you start getting in your 30s, there are limitations, especially depending on how high and how far you want to go. Obviously it has been done, as we've seen Bernard Hopkins, like the glory of Bernard Hopkins, the alien, that's why they call him. Not all of us are aliens. Some of us are, human, but, we do what we can. So I decided at that time, it was good for me to go pro.
Okay. Yeah, no, awesome answer. I mean, like, I always get like all kinds of crazy answers. Like, Scooter, which is Stephen Fulton Jr. here, he said that once they took the headgear off, he knows time. Also, like, trainers, dads, and all. So yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of different answers. So nothing really surprises me with that answer to the question. Yeah.
Oh, I got one. I'll top you on that one. So I went to the tallest mountain around. I took my shirt off and I prayed for 12 hours, and then a light came down and started picking me up and said, I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you, by the way. Look, I had you going for a second. Are you serious?
I was like, wait, is that a scene from Independence Day? No, I'm joking.
Bro, I had you going for just a little. I was like,
that was so funny.
So,
all right, so let's talk about your pro debut. I also like to ask this one to show, that all boxers are human, or maybe they are machines and they like to hide their emotions. But your pro debut was October 18th, 2019. I found out recently because I usually do my homework on the fighters, but it was a former, maybe still a stablemate of Brody Chambers. You fought Antonio Dutton L. Jr., who you beat in amateurs, so that was kind of ironic that he was your pro debut. Was a split draw, but I can ask you about what happened with that next address. But I just wanted to know, what were your nerves like? Was it everyday business for you, or were you just like really, really nervous going into the match?
So, obviously, me and Antonio, like, we've talked after the fight. He's a great guy. He has a new baby. So congratulations on him and his family. Me personally, during that time, I did have a lot of stuff going on. As I was saying, I was getting out of the Navy. So something about getting in the Navy, you have probably like 20, 30 people to help you get in the Navy, like the recruiter's office, everybody at MEPS, everything else like that. When you get out, you have nobody. All the paperwork, which is hundreds of pieces of paper, your records all have to be good. You have to get medically, like, evaluated. You have to be, like, sometimes psychologically evaluated. You have to do all these other, like, different things. So while I was in training camp, I was also getting out of the Navy as well as starting college because I needed my GI Bill right after I got out of the Navy. So I was a full-time college student getting out of the Navy as well as full-time training. I had a lot on my plate at the time. But at the time, I was ready. I was very ready physically, mentally. Now that I'm much more experienced, there's things I could have done better, just like everybody in every fight. There's always things you can improve on. So mentally, I've got that the game part down. I kind of was thinking the fight was going to go a certain way, and it didn't. He came ready to fight. He has good power in his hands, and he put his punches together, and he made the fight a dogfight, and that's what it turned out to be. It's just a toe-to-toe dogfight, and yeah, my hats off to him. It was a great fight. I think he's got a fight coming up too. I wish him the best of luck in that.
Oh, really?
Well,
Okay.
yeah, I believe he's got a fight coming up too. So,
All right.
which is
Now,
in Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken.
okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was like looking at his box track, and that was like his only fight. And like I know, like COVID ruined everybody's growth and stuff,
Yeah.
especially the prospects and all. Now, are you guys like cool enough where you're not going to do a rematch, or do you think a rematch is just out of the question? Like, is there kind of like a grudge match between the both of you, just to see who actually won, or have you guys moved on?
I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. There's no like grudge match where there's no like where it's like Dustin Poirier and McGregor. Not saying we're
Right,
even on
right, right.
that level where they're like hating on each other. Like we're obviously really cool. And I wish him the best in his career. I mean, if it were to happen down the road, then let it be. But there's nothing that's the burning desire.
Right.
So and boxing's all a business. So to my point, and what I always try to tell people is boxing is a business, and remember it's a business. So if it's right for you, right for your brand, right for your move, then go ahead and do it. But if it's not, don't even worry about it.
Right.
So
Exactly. All right. And then also more power to you, man. It sounded like you had a wild training camp too. You were leaving the Navy, and then you were enrolling into college and all. So it sounded crazy. And then you did stick to your word, how you were going to take a couple months, spend some family time, because being in the Navy, you miss a lot of Christmases, birthdays, holidays, and stuff too. So you wound up fighting again. Literally before the pandemic, struck, February 28th, 2020, you got your first win, unanimous decision against Edward Hattler. Now, how did you feel in that one? Like, did you feel after your pro fight, you were like, okay, this is what I could work on? Like, did you feel a lot more comfortable in your second fight?
I felt a lot more comfortable. And then something also to remember, and again, what I tell people is every single fight is going to be different. Your skill is going to be different. You're either going to be better, or if you didn't train, you're going to be worse. You're going to, have better conditioning. There's a lot of things that come into fighting. But where I was at mentally, I made a lot of changes. I started meditating for a half hour every day. I started reflecting and filming what I was doing in sparring, what I was doing on the bag, making sure the technique is right, making sure that the punches are turned all the way over, the thumb is all the way over. Because if there's anything I am very obsessive when it comes to the small stuff. I will do a move 10,000 times to make sure I get it right. And there's that old saying, do it right until you don't ever get it wrong. So that's kind of the approach that I took after my pro fight. I obviously spent some time with my family for my first pro fight, and leading up to Eddie, who's also a great guy, and he just started his family too. Congratulations to him and his wife too. I sent him a message as soon as his daughter was born, and I wished him the best. Because I don't hold any resentment or anything like that from anybody I've been in. I genuinely love everybody I've ever fought, and I wish them the best in their life. And when it's in there, it's just business. But as soon as the bell rings, it's over. I want them to be good, and I want them to be healthy and safe. So, but yeah, I came in there with a better mindset, and I also had switched coaches as well, because the coach I was with flew to Texas to train Jarrett, because he was essentially Jarrett's coach, Andre Robin, and and then I trained with Jay Senior, and then we just trained for that fight, and then after COVID, now I'm with Crawford. So I've been getting a lot of different perspectives from different coaches.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's great to work with different coaches because, of course you'll find your one that you're going to stick with a while, but it's great to add all the different techniques and all. And then also you wind up, developing your own fight style, just picking up with all the different coaches and all. So that is awesome to see.
Yeah.
All right, now let's touch up now. What's it like to work with Tony Jeter? Being a former pro boxer himself, and he's a heck of a guy. I mean, I know I talk to him a couple times a week. A 5-minute conversation always turns into a half hour with Tony. But What's it like to work with him?
So I will say Tony does love to talk. I love that man, but like, dang Tony, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just messing. No, he's a good guy. I would say few fighters really do it all. Fight on the level he was at, promote, run shows, and manage their own professional career at the same time. Actually, he's the only one I know that does that.
Right.
So with that, you get a lot of different perspectives because you have a promoter that's been a fighter that understands what you're going through. So that perspective really helps him kind of talk to fighters and really understand fighters. So fighters that are with him, really truly get that feeling of, okay, so he knows what I'm going through. He's not trying to push me in a bad direction. And the way that he approaches trying to promote fighters and build them is very, very important for a lot of fighters to learn, because a lot of local guys, they're like, all right, I turned pro, I get one fight on my belt. Let me go fight someone that's hard. Let me go fight this person that's like insanely hard. Let me go fight this person. But like a lot of people don't realize you are the brand. Right. Your winning record, like yourself, your name, your face, your performance is the brand. And if you go out there and just fight all hard fights, your career is going to be very short. And I have seen careers get ended short and very short of potentially very, very good boxers that could have made world championship, like been world champions, been on the world stage, but they didn't because they decided to pick a lot of very hard local fights too early on and then develop. So, his method to the madness, and I really do. He's taught me a lot. That's all I can say.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, no, he's a great guy. After meeting him after that show, April 24th, like, I knew he was definitely somebody to keep in touch with, because like he's like, like if he really, really likes you, he's definitely gonna like take care of you and be really friendly with you. So yeah, no, Tony's a great guy, and I'm very excited, to meet you and to meet, the rest of the guys who I did interview from the last show that are going to be on this one on the 7th too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So is this your first time ever visiting the city of brotherly love, or have you been here before?
No, I've been there before. I think it's lose some because I went there during one of Brandon Quarles' fight. I know Brandon very well. We used to train at Hillcrest together when he fought over at the Sugar House Casino, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, now it's Rivers. Yeah, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he fought over there. Man, when I'm telling you that place was packed to the rafters, we were in the back, and I had to have like those opera glasses just to see what was happening in the ring.
Yeah.
But it was a good time. I had some Philly cheesesteaks. I like the original. I think it was like Lose or something like that, where they added a bunch of other stuff on it. The original just slapped.
Was it Tony Luke's, or was it?
Yeah, Tony Luke's.
It was Tony Luke's. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Philly people, I'm butchering this, but like I'm telling you that was the best one I've had so far. But I'm an out of town person, so.
Right. Yeah, no, I sent like a couple guys to Phil's Steaks. That one's a good one by the 2300 Arena. So maybe after the fight, we'll check you out Phil's or something like that. Yeah. Okay. I know like Brandon Chambers wants to have the heart attack special, which is the Philly taco. He wants to wrap this. So we have this place here. It's called Lorenzo's, and it's a huge boardwalk pizza. And then there's Jim Steaks on South Street. So the Philly tacos, when you put the cheesesteak inside the pizza and you roll it up. But he said he wants to try it.
Oh man, yo, hey Brandon, good luck with that. I wish you the best. I'll have the AED kit on site for you. So
yeah, if we don't see him the next day, I think we know why. So
yeah, we'll start checking the hospitals. We'll start calling around.
Yeah, definitely. So I did want to tell you about the 2300 Arena. Is a great place. I'm sure you saw pictures and all. It's like probably we used to have the Blue Horizon in Philly, which was like the huge like historic place to fight. But now like the 2300 Arena is kind of taking that over as like the main venue for like the Philly fights and all. And also, if you were in the wrestling growing up, that was like where all the ECW fights were in that arena. So like once it's packed, it is incredible atmosphere in there and all too.
Okay, yeah, I was a huge Stone Cold Steve Austin fan. Oh my gosh,
Same.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was like, I want to drink beer like that when I'm older, and no, it's not happening.
Well, hey, listen, maybe after your fight, I will open up a Coors, and then I'm going to throw it into the ring to you then. I'm joking.
That sounds good. I'll just get it all messy for the next fight, so people are slipping and sliding
There you
everywhere.
go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now what is your expectations fighting in Philly? Like, are you expecting anything, or like are you going if like the way the Philly fans like have a rep here? Like what are you expecting?
Um, I'm going in as a kind of a outside person with no expectations. And
Okay,
what I mean
I
by
like
that is
it.
like I'm very much with the vibe. So whatever vibe it is, I'm gonna roll with it, and that's how I mainly roll. So
I like it. Okay.
yeah.
Are you gonna have a lot of your friends and family that are gonna make the trip up?
Yeah, so I have a good supporting out in Annapolis. A lot of the guys that I know, um, and then some Navy people are coming out. Some people from work. Some of my girlfriend's family. A lot of my girlfriend's family's coming out too. So it'll be a good time. Look forward to
Okay,
putting on a good show.
awesome. Great. Yeah, no, it's always cool to see like the families and stuff. So I don't know if you saw the video of Jay.
Hmm.
It was
Yep.
so funny when his friend ran into the ring and just started. I don't even know how the hell he got in there, but I was dying. It was so funny.
It was pretty comical. I mean, he just bum rushed. There's nothing security could do about it. They're just
No,
like, and then they're like, Who is this guy? What?" And just like trying to like barter him out. And so it's pretty funny.
it was
I laughed.
absolutely incredible. No, it was so funny because like everyone was so pissed off at the end. They were like, "What the fuck's this guy doing here?" It was so funny. It was so great. Like he didn't even have a chance to literally explain because by the time he turned around, he was already out the door. It was
Yeah,
crazy. It was so
that's
funny.
reminding me like people coming out of COVID. Not saying what happened, but I'm seeing a lot of stuff in like NBA and like NHL and like baseball where people are just losing their minds, getting back in the stand and like doing stuff that I've never even seen before COVID. Like pegging NBA players with like beer bottles and stuff like that. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my, what happened? We go away
yeah.
for a year. Good gosh.
Yeah,
So
now it gets crazy. Like an actual doctor, gave Russell Westbrook the middle finger a few years ago, and he wound up getting more patients after that.
wow, that's hey, you gotta do what you gotta do for marketing, right? I'm not
Yeah,
hating.
it's so funny because like it was like all over like memes and everything. Like I think allegedly, but I'm sure he did because there's no way that a doctor would start going crazy. But supposedly Russell Westbrook called him fat boy or something like that. So the dude just stood up and gave him two middle fingers like fuck you. It's so funny.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not hating. He's got more patience, so hey, he's winning.
Yeah,
So
I know. Exactly. So what's your goal? So this is like probably my last boxing question before we start getting to the fun ones. So what's your goals for the end of the year? Like well like after this fight on August 7th, now are you trying to fight one more time? You trying to get in there two or three times?
so we'll kind of see. I have a lot of stuff on my plate. I'm still full time college. I work full time,
Okay.
and then I'm training full time. We're also in the process of buying a house as well, and so
Oh,
moving. And
good
then
luck.
yep, and then
It is
have
it is such a seller's market right now. It sucks.
yeah. I heard you just moved too, so congratulations on the
I
new
thank
place.
you, thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
But so we're looking to go through that headache. So honestly, we'll see what the how much available free time because I'm starting to get towards the end of my degree where I started taking the 300 classes. So it's
Okay.
instead of the 100 classes where you can work a couple hours a week and you're like, oh, I'm good. Now it's like I'm sitting there staring at my degree is in computer networking and cybersecurity.
Oh, okay.
I'm sitting there just you know program like program servers, setting up networks, everything else like that. So uh, it gets a little bit more complicated, and I have to put a little bit more attention to it. So if there might be a hiatus in the future, I don't know. So we'll see.
All right, now awesome, man. You'll be making the big bucks when you graduate. I was sport management, so there ain't no money in that when you first come at a school. It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, it's a wide open field for anybody interested. I actually have a cybersecurity job now, so I mean, I'm loving the benefits. So
Love it.
but
All right. Now, I lied. I do have another boxing one
no, it's
before we
okay.
talk about your naval career. Yes. So besides your fight, which fight are you looking forward to watching, whether as a fan or like later on?
So I'm looking forward, just like everybody, to Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, even though I know that just got postponed because of COVID. And I'm also really looking forward to the fight this weekend, the McGregor Poirier.
Oh
But
yes.
I saw some stuff with McGregor that doesn't really bode well to his confidence levels. So again, I'm hyper analytical of people's actions, reactions, motions, how they portray themselves.
Yeah.
The way in the press conference that he was, the vibes he was getting off, the body language that he was using, he is pretending to be his old self, but doesn't have the confidence of his old self
Yeah.
anymore. And I feel like that was very obvious for a lot of people, but people are still on the hype train. So Poirier's already got the mental game down. He's been training nonstop, so I think he's got this. But that's, those are the two upcoming fights that I'm excited for.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm totally with you with Team Dustin. I feel like he doesn't have I feel like Connor, he doesn't have that like that juice no more because like if you watch the video, so like UFC posted fight 1, even though
Yeah.
Connor did have the man bun, but you could just tell the demeanor and attitude and stuff in that one. This one, he just didn't have the juice and the aggressiveness. So like, maybe your mind changes. You sold Irish whiskey, your share for like 10 mil. You made two $100 million fights, the Mayweather and the Khabib fight. So, you're financially stable. So like there's nothing else. And then he's also a two-time weight class, a two weight class champion right
Yeah.
there. So
And honestly, however much people say that money never changes them, it really does. I mean,
it definitely changed him 100%.
yeah. Dang, I'm not even gonna lie. It's changed. I used to do Uber driving a year ago during the pandemic. Like I was on the struggle bus, and then now with the cybersecurity job, I'm not I don't have to worry about much, and it's I can see how it does change people because it's already
Yeah.
starting to change me. So it's don't ever fool yourself and think that it never changes people because it does.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. And then how about on this card on August 7th? Which fight are you looking forward to seeing besides yours?
So obviously, I love seeing my old stablemate Jay. See him putting some work. Jay's been out there with Brandon and Tommy Avalar.
Okay.
Or the Avalar brothers, and so I'm looking forward to them, putting in the work and seeing what Jay has to come with, and I really look forward to that. And then Brandon, also looking forward to Brandon. Also, I enjoy watching AJ.
AJ.
AJ, yeah, AJ is always a good. He got that nice KO last time. But I felt bad for the guy. The only reason I felt bad is because he was actually getting married 3 days after that, and I don't know why. Not to hate or anything like that, but like, damn. And his wife was in. And the only reason I know that he was getting married is because his future wife was 3 rows in front of like my fans and like all the guys from like Annapolis, like some like that. So I have a sponsor, it's Capistrano's Barbershop. So a lot of like the business guys, like the CEOs and everything, they go into Capistrano's Barbershop. So they're all sitting up there, just drinking and having a good time. And then they're like, they see a girl crying. They're like, what happened? She's like, that's my future husband. We're going to get married in like 3 days. I was like, oh my God. So I kind of felt bad for him. But, hey, to each their own. They're happy from what it looks like. So I wish them the best. So
All right. That is so crazy that he got married like 3 days later. Like, what happens if your face got mangled? That's insane.
It did. That's the thing. He definitely had a black eye for his marriage, but hey, to each their own. So that's fine with them for the rest of their life. Then hey,
Yeah.
I would never do that. But
he probably had to wear like a Jason mask or something on his wedding day. I don't know.
I don't know. AJ's got those cannons, so he probably could have. So
that is crazy. All right, now let's touch up on your naval career again. Thank you so much for your services. We also have another Philly fighter that was in the Navy too, Steve USS Cunningham. Shout out to him.
I know Steve. I actually met him at Nationals. I have his number.
Oh, do you really? Okay.
Yeah, I called him before I went pro, and he talked to me, him and his wife, because his wife's manager.
Libby's awesome, yeah.
Yes, they are awesome. Steve taught me a ton of different stuff. We talked about the Navy when we were over in Chattanooga for like 3 hours. And then I saw a son fight. And I actually fought a kid from Pittsburgh that he was in the corner with. Oh, my God, I'm blanking on his name.
It wasn't really his other son, Cruz, right? I mean,
No, he wasn't related to him. But he's really, really good southpaw. I think he was like a 2-time PA Golden Glove State champion.
Oh, wow.
Really good kid. Yeah, he's got a good, bright future ahead of him. I haven't really been following and see what he's been up to. But, yeah, I mean, we talked a lot. I love Steve. And, yeah, he had that Frank Mir fight easy. Damn.
Yes, he did.
It was as easy as walking in the bank and cashing the check and then walking out for him. So it was, hey, you know what? Nah, hey, good job, man. Keep keeping those easy checks.
Yes. So, all right. Yes. Yeah. So let's, you did go in the Navy right after high school and all. So let's talk about your experience and all. Like, was it enjoyable? Obviously you were like in combat and stuff. So that could be, afterwards it could be a little, traumatizing and all. But how was your overall experience in the Navy?
So, overall, I would never have done it any other way. Okay. Coming out of high school, I didn't have the best grades. I kind of did like a 180 in my junior year and started, getting really good grades and doing everything else like that. But it was just kind of too late for me. Like there was no way I was going to get a scholarship. But I had already decided that I wanted to go in the Navy. So my grandmother, because I'm half Mexican and half white on my English side, she was actually one of the first 1,000 females in the military as a wave. So she was in the Navy as well during World War II. And then my grandfather on the English side was also in the Navy in World War II as an aviation engineer. And he worked for Boeing and Raytheon afterwards. And then he became an art teacher later. So I just kind of carried on the family tradition. But overall, the experience was good, very hard, very educational. I learned a lot. I mean, I saw a lot as well. I would never do it any other way. It's brought me a lot of opportunities that I could never have achieved had I not done that. So,
again, thank you so much for your service and all. Of course,
we appreciate you guys. So we really appreciate you guys, man. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else I got. My hands like chicken scratch a lot of times. I think we got the fun questions left. All right. So I did lie again. I do have another boxing question. Jesus.
Okay, no worries. No worries.
All right. So I did ask a lot of the guys that were on the last card too. So we're gonna consider you Maryland and DC. So why don't you name your top 5 like current fighters right now out of Maryland and the DC? We could even put Virginia in there too.
So upcoming or already there? Because there's
So it's like Blaze's top 5. It could be like the top prospects that are pro or even like the well-known guys. So they don't have to be in any order. See, so you can just throw like your 5 guys out there.
So Jarrett is going to be my number 1. I'm sorry, everybody,
okay.
But Tank is obviously a really good standout. There's some really, really, really good up-and-comers. I know Jaleel Hackett from this area. We've actually sparred a couple times.
Okay.
So he's kind of
Jaleel Hackett.
And then some other guys, because I don't, a lot of these guys that are like really big in the area, they have a lot of, they already have a lot of clout going on. So like Dwayne Holmes is going to make his pro debut. We've sparred a couple times. He got me ready for my second professional fight, and then we sparred a little bit during the amateurs. So I wish him the best of luck. And then, you got the Russells, you got Roche. Like I
know.
I don't know. Like it's hard because you got so much good, insane amounts of talent around here. So that's what makes it one of this or the DMV like one of the best areas of boxing, other than Philly, New York, LA. So.
All right. And then I do have to ask this too. Who's your favorite Philly fighter that you enjoy watching currently?
Tevin
It better
Farmer.
not be Danny Garcia. Who? Tevin?
No, Tevin Farmer.
Tevin
Uh,
Farmer. Okay. All right.
yeah, I really enjoy his defensive skills, the way that he approached it. Also, I love his story. I'm almost like above LS. Like, he was one of those guys that you would count out in boxing. 4 losses.
Yeah.
And then he just put in the work. He said, "This is what I want out of life," and just ran with it, and that's it.
Did
So
you ever hear his hand injury?
yeah, are you talking about his last fight when he fought oh god, who's that Mexican cat?
No, like this is a life one. So he
Oh,
fought.
the one where he got shot.
Yeah,
Yep.
where a drug dealer like blew his right hand, and then
Yep.
the doctor said that he'd never fight again without becoming a world champion. It's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, I heard that one. So I mean, already on a two-peat, awesome story. He just had to add that additional caveat to becoming a world champion. So yeah, man, much respect to him.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what he's gonna do next. So like it seems like he's very comfortable. He's done very well with his money. He's living in South Jersey. He's like he's always doing something business wise. But I would love to see him back there again, back in the ring soon. So hopefully we see that soon. Yeah, but like seems like a lot of Maryland guys really like Tevin, because you're not the only one that has said Tevin too. Like a lot of these guys in Maryland really like Tevin. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's his skills, it's these defensive skills. A lot of the guys around here, take that to heart, and that's how they do it. So
yeah. How about Boots Ennis? You like him?
I'm you know what, I'm gonna be that guy. I haven't seen a lot of him, but now that you mentioned it, I'm gonna go look him up. So I have an opinion
All
with
right.
you.
Yeah, no, Boots is unreal. It's like he's like literally the perfect fighter put together. It was like his two older brothers were like guinea pigs, and then his father with his last child just made he's probably the best switch hitter in the game. He's got great right, great left. Yeah, I mean, if you look up some video after this of Boots, you'll love him. He's definitely a future welterweight. So if Bud Crawford or Earl Spence watch this, Boots is coming for you.
There you go, get him.
There you go. All right, so this is also one of my favorite questions to ask. It usually catches people off guard. So if anyone could play you in a movie, like any current movie actor in Hollywood that could play you in a movie based on your life and even in boxing, who would it be?
Dang. Well, I was gonna give you a funny joke. I was like, the one that looks like me is probably Sid the Sloth from Ice Age. But as far as like life and stuff like that, man, that's a hard one. Because I actually don't pay attention to a lot of actors' lives.
Okay.
I mainly just watch their movies, and then sometimes I follow them. But man, I don't have an answer for you. I'm sorry about that one.
No?
That one caught me. Man, I would say someone that looks like me. I mean, maybe, but he's not even an actor. Like Juan Manuel Marquez when he was like 20, 30 years younger.
Juan Manuel Marquez?
But even though he's not an actor, like that dude could fight and drink his own pee. But other than that, like, yeah. So whatever.
All right. So I don't know if you could see my phone, but I thought of this dude right away. His name's Tony Revolori. He was in the Netflix movie with Josh Peck, Take the 10. What do you think?
Hell yeah. Dude, why does he look like he's got that big old honker like me too? I love that. There he is.
I thought of that like right away after I asked the question. I was like, wait, you actually look like the dude from the movie Take the 10. All right, okay.
Okay. I'll take that, man. I have been mistaken for everything under the planet. I'm half Mexican and half English. So I've been mistaken for Turkish, Iranian, Greek, Italian. So anybody in anything in any shade of brown can probably play me, honestly. So
Gotcha. All right. Now, if you do watch the NFL, I'm sure you do. Are you more Baltimore Ravens or are you Washington Football? Or do you not like them?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't watch a whole lot of football, but if I were to pick a team and everyone in the DMV is gonna hit me, I'm a Raiders fan. I'm from
Okay, the
California.
Raiders.
Raiders. Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh
Raiders.
yeah. Yeah, Raiders. Oh, it's but again, if anybody were talking to me about like what the Raiders are doing this year, I couldn't even tell you. But that's just me. Like with everything going on, I do have very limited time to be able to watch sports.
All
So
right. All right. Now we did answer. You did go to Tony Luke's, which is very good. Now let everyone know what's your favorite food spot in Annapolis.
dang, that's hard. All right. So if you want amazing Japanese food like sushi, which is somehow infused in my blood at this point, Joss's sushi is really good. If you want some fusion, that's very traditional sushi. Um, if you want like a good whiskey selection, um, or like Irish food or anything else like that, Galway Bay is the place to go.
Okay.
Man, I have so many favorites. Like it's not even funny. Like there's a pizza joint on Main Street all the way down by the water. Like they're open late. Oh my gosh, they have the greatest like New York style like pizza. Let's see what other places we like to go. Man, I can't think of the name of this one spot, but it's right across the bridge, and that is by far the best steakhouse I've ever had. So it's in like Eastport, the other side of Annapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Wait.
good food all around.
Speaking of bridges, that's like the longest bridge ever just to cross into Annapolis. It's like a 12-minute bridge. It's crazy.
Oh, you're talking about the Bay Bridge. Okay.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah, you don't want to cross that on Friday too, going the other way away
Oh.
from like Annapolis because it's like an hour and a half. And Tony knows that because he lives over on the other side, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" And I'm like, "Man, I feel bad for you guys. It's bad."
That's nuts.
Yeah.
All right, so my final two questions I have are Philly terms. All right, now how do you think we say water in Philly?
So I know it's not like everybody that says water. It's not like that. That sounds like Massachusetts. I couldn't say
Yes.
Massachusetts. So probably just like water. I don't know.
No, it's water. So
Water.
yes, so
Okay.
it's a wood and then just add the er. So if you ask somebody at the 2300 arena afterward, just say, "Hey, can you give me a water? Thanks."
Okay. I'll be sure to mention that. I'm probably gonna mess it up 100%, but I'll do my best.
All right, and then my last one is, what is a John?
A John? Well, I was thinking of shitter, but like it's not like.
It could be used as anything. It could be used as
Okay.
anything.
So that's like in the DMV saying the joint or
The
something like
joint,
that. Like,
right. So like instead
okay.
of saying joint, it's John. So like you could call a female a John. You could call where you're eating the John. You could call your job the John. You could call anything a John.
Okay. I'll remember that, and I'll stop getting confused and stop calling everybody Johns then if I go there. So
All right. Well, Blaze, this was so much fun. Do you have any shout outs for your sponsors or anything else to say to the people?
yeah, if you guys are ever in Annapolis, go to Capistrano's Barbershop. Best haircuts and some awesome people in there. And then if you guys ever need any film production or anything else like that, Rigo Productions is the place to go. And Baltimore, I'm telling you, you have to go to Creole Soul. It is by far the best seafood in Baltimore. So I love it.
All right. Awesome, Blaze. Thank you so much again. I can't wait to meet you on the 7th, and we'll be celebrating after your second win.
Sounds good to me. I'll see you after there. I'll bring a good bottle of whiskey for you too.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, Blaze. I'll see you.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one.
All right.